During the summer of 2023, we moved to a remote Scottish Hebridean island to be its only two residents, along with our 2 pet sheep and pair of cats. These remote islands seem to retain an old-fashioned rhythm and a charm which we find encouraging us to live a more frugal and simple life, the way man was perhaps more intended to. We have an ancient stone cottage to restore, veggies to grow, livestock to build up, fish to catch and smoke, a boat to buy, and much more. Step back in time with us at the Scottish Isle.
Stand over there. Stand over there. What, you're thinking to yourself?
We don't just want one Starlink, we want 2 Starlink.
We've already done this. This is the unboxing and Starlink video.
We don't do unboxing.
We don't do unboxing videos. The situation is, would you like to explain?
No, because I've got a croaky throat.
Starlink, since the weather has turned warmer, has been failing on multiple occasions. It is linked to the heat, but we got in touch with Starlink and said to them, look, we keep having outage time. We think that the square dish is overheating. And they did, and it's not.
It was Elon personally, probably, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it is.
Don't want to displease Scott.
We've got him on like speed dial. So it was like, Elon, mate, sort it out, and he did. And they sent us a complete new set of hardware. So new dish,
everything, new
router, the whole lot needs to be exchanged. Oh, and guess what happened? Delivery.
Yeah, they screwed up the delivery again.
So it wasn't delivered here. So well done, DHL. So anyway, we got it. It's here now, and what we're going to do is we're going to change it over. So everything that we've got, apart from the stand, is going back to Elon. Yeah, he said, "I want it back."
They've also given us, without even asking, they've given us a month free subscription fee that we pay. So which is awesome. But they, from afar, they looked into the dish, however they do it, and they said, yeah, it's a hardware problem.
If it happens again, we'll
replace it. And they just did.
And it happened again. So let's go outside. Or
what I was going to say before you threw your toys out the pram was, we'll show them that the dish turns itself and faces away from the direction it should be facing when the.
We're actually going outside now to do just that. This is the bit where we're explaining, and now we're going to go outside and we're going to show them.
Let's do all the things that you want to do.
Because my ideas are better.
No, they're not.
This is what a dead Starling dish looks like, isn't it?
From our point of view, yeah.
Well, it flattens out, doesn't it, when it's died? Oh, before I do this, somebody on the channel said the last time that I wore this jacket, I looked like a cross between Don Johnson in Miami Vice and Fred Dimner.
Nope. Quite hot.
You want my opinion? I think all this moss is dead.
Yeah, it's a bit dried out, isn't it?
Row, row, row your boat gently up the stream. Is it down the stream?
Down.
Gently down the stream.
If you see a crocodile.
Scream.
Yeah.
I don't think it goes like that.
I'm off.
Did you change the paddles last time?
Yes. I made sure they were.
We had odd
equal.
paddles, didn't we?
Rowing over there to where the car is. Over on the mainland. Off to do the big shot. That way up, right?
Yeah. Getting the hang of this, aren't you?
I prefer the little green boat that's over the other side, but
Yeah, I don't like this new one. We need a canoe. A two-man canoe.
I'm off.
Imagine how quickly, when the tide's going out, yeah, if we were to get in two of these, to go down to where we were with the cemetery, the old graveyard, we'd be
Which
there
is
in a matter of
down
minutes.
there.
Yeah. It would take minutes, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. That walk took
That walk, it was, yeah, pretty awful.
took it out of you, didn't it?
Yeah, it's always pretty hard on the ankles, isn't it? Because you're walking over pebbles all the time. Right, what music would you like this time? I'm thinking the theme tune to Master and Commander.
Poseidon?
The Oneidian line.
Darn seaweed! Right.
You used to do this, didn't you, for the Olympic team?
Do it again?
The Olympic team, you used to do this for the Olympics, didn't you? Where are you going?
I'm going diagonally because the current's strong.
Okay. Now she's on course. There's a method to her madness. It's about getting into the current. The current's now going to take her to where she wants to be. I was going to say, you don't have to row now, do you? Can't hear me. Can you not hear me? My voice echoes over from the actual hills, but she can't hear me.
It's quite pleasant. It's like punting on the Thames, as Dick Van Dyke would say. Punting on the Thames. Except I'm not punting, and I'm not on the Thames.
And away she goes.
I'm just doing a dry run of how I'm going to pack this hole out. I'm going to address this first before I start lime plastering, lime washing, whatever you call it, over the whole thing. But I'm going to do something with this first. So if I just lime render over the top of that, anytime that this door is slammed or jiggled or whatever, you've got the risk of the plaster just falling off. It's a different story with plastering over the stone because you wet the stone and the old mortar. That's what gives it its adhesion. But this isn't going to be the case with a bit of wood. So what I have to do before I plaster over this, which I'm going to start doing in the next couple of days, I've got to give it something to key into, right? So, and then put just a tiny bit of lime onto it. The next day I come back and scratch the lime, and then I can do the wall and get all these new bits of stone that I need to pack it out with, get all them set in place as well. But yeah, first things first. Far enough. They only need to be sticking out a couple of millimetres. I'm hardly going to need any of this. Kind of about how I remember it. Maybe a wee bit loose. Yay! I've made too much. This is the best bit. So I may as well not waste it and just put some on the stone as well. So I need to go and wet the stone first. Call me weird, but it's quite fun going outside and picking up stones to see if they'll fit. That one a bit big. No, it's perfect. I need to wet these stones a couple of times because this old lime mortar is so dry. It needs to really soak in. Hey! One little Shona, time for some exercise.
And true to form.
Just eating crap off
Just
the
eating,
ground.
yep, exactly.
See, it's natural for them to mouth things and nibble things, and
What's the way of testing out the world, isn't it?
come on, come on. Shona.
Just can't see you.
Shona. Come on.
You know what? Do you know when you said she might get the other sheep up out and about running? This is the, I'm not saying that she's lazy, but she's the most inquisitive and non-hysterical lamb that I've ever come across.
Are you unhysterical, Shona?
She's very placid.
Come and play. Come on, come and play. Yeah, she hasn't had the zimmies yet, properly.
She ain't what?
Hasn't had the zimmies.
She can't see you.
Shona. 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 Hey, baby girl, that's more like it.
You might imagine everything's a distraction. How many firsts there are that are happening right now. Never smelt that before, never smelt that before.
Never walked on rocks before. Never got your feet wet before. I don't want to just step in that bit.
Last night, what time is it? About 7 o'clock-ish?
Yeah.
This was filled with smoke. The whole of the lock here. And we panicked a little bit. Katie shot up over the other side of the island to go and check, and all the smoke was coming along the coast. And I didn't realise, because I did a bit of research, that it's prone to wildfires here. In April last year, there was a huge wildfire further along the coast, and there's another one last night. And I don't know if you can see it. There's a haze. It just looks like a fine mist, but a bit thicker. But this is that from the wildfires. I mean, who'd thought wildfires in April and May?
It's got to be campers, doesn't it? It's either burning heather that's gone awry or campers having campfires.
The last 2 days, how hot has it been?
Oh,
I would say, yeah, that yesterday or the day before, I think it was the day before, it must have got up to nearly 30 degrees out here. And it was that hot.
Now that we've changed the dish, no problems. Despite
that
the
was
heat.
well timed. And even though they did say, oh, it's not an overheating problem, it was an overheating problem. So, officially, we're here to tell you that some Starlink dishes have a overheating.
A overheating problem.
Twister from Lightrise. Have a overheating problem. So yeah, we did panic last night, didn't we?
Well, thank God it wasn't on the island.
You rang up the people on the other island, didn't you?
Yeah,
well,
the
you
adjacent
texted them and just said, we don't know where this smoke's coming from, but there's an awful lot of it.
Yeah, but we're all good.
I think they've put it out.
Have they?
Well, they haven't updated the report, but the last one, which was 3,500 acres, which was along the coast, took 2.5 days to put out. I think it's just bushfire as such.
It's not. I mean, it being Scotland and it being boggy and marshy and wet generally, we tend not to get them. Not like you do in other places like Australia and Canada. But yeah.
What are you up to?
Smells like fish and chip shop, doesn't it?
Somebody said fish and chips. I could murder fish and chips.
Somebody said white vinegar will get it silvering. ASP, as Tony Beats would say. We think that Tony Beats, Gold Rush, right?
Yeah.
We think he should have his own dog food brand.
Oh, he should have his own. Well, definitely food brand. Tony Beats Sweet Meats.
No, Tony Beats Dog Meats.
Tony Beats Sweet Meats.
And Parker Schnabel's Bagels.
I'm just sorry. I just don't think that. I don't think Tony Beats eats bull's testicles.
Sweetbreads aren't testicles.
I know. It's just that's what I was laughing at.
It's like some sort of gland, isn't it? What else did we think of? Tony Beats Dog Meats, Parker Schnabel's Bagels. Who else is there on there? I forget.
Rick Ness. Anyway, enough of Gold Rush. We shouldn't be promoting them. They've got far too many viewers. Do you remember when I said to my brother about you should watch this programme called Gold Rush? And he said, yeah, I've been watching it for the last 10 years.
Yeah, you were really slow to jump on that bandwagon, weren't you?
Anyway, we're not talking about Gold Rush. We're talking about
So this is it then? This is basically what you dragged me out here for?
Yeah, that's it.
Should you be getting vinegar on the herb garden?
Doesn't matter.
What about these bits? Are these dry?
I don't know.
No, I meant these bits here. Did you miss them? Or have they already dried off?
No, it didn't take.
Oh, okay.
Or something. Whatever.
So what we're going to do, have a time lapse, we're going to stand here and wait?
Well, I'm going to go in, you just stand there.
Okay. How long do I have to wait?
Come with me to see a beautiful sight. The bluebells are out. And then some.
Why are bluebells purple?
Why are they not called purple bells?
Yeah.
You haven't seen anything yet.
Wow, I haven't been up here for a few days and this is the first time I'm actually seeing this too. That's incredible, where do they all come from?
I still smell the skunk's cabbage. All the way up the track.
That's crazy.
All the way into the woods as well.
Well, I was up here on the quad 2 days ago and these weren't here. Well, obviously they were, they just hadn't flowered. God, that's pungent, isn't it? It's these. What are these called again?
Skunk cabbage.
You can see why. So all the way up to the byre, and you see them going all the way up there as well, top of the hill.
come and look through here. This place is like, it's like a secret garden. Through the trees here, Audrey is back.
Little shop horrors.
Yep.
Look at the leaves on this oak for this time of year. Sorry, I got distracted.
Did they not say if there's some sort of old proverb, if the oak is out before the rowan or something like that, then it's going to be a dry spring.
Oh my God. Well, the last time I was here was when we was doing the deer fence.
Well, it looked a bit sorry for itself then, didn't it? But I mean, these get to 4 times the size of this.
That's prehistoric, this, isn't it? Right, let me come down there. This is mad.
They've only just come back out and they're already taller than me. These are quite soft. I don't really want to touch them because I don't know if it's an irritant. See the pollen, it's blown off already. But during the winter...
It's an incredible plant, isn't it? Is this just one plant or several?
There's several parts of plants here. You have to put these to bed. You have to cut the leaves off and turn them upside down and put them over the base of the plant to protect it from frost damage. They don't like frost. But otherwise, obviously, it thrives in this environment.
The size of this.
Here. I mean, and these get to so big that you could curl up in them and go to sleep. They're just something else. Audrey. Bheag Sí Mhor.
You actually expect a dinosaur to come poking its head round. Unfortunately, we have a broken trailer. It's quite apt that it's leaning against the barrel of kerosene because it was a barrel of kerosene that caused the problem. What I'll show you now is exactly how it ripped the metal from the hinges on the axle here. It just popped through the actual rivets. Now, it didn't do it initially, but what happened was when we put it into when we tipped it in and pushed it in and then brought it over the island, as slow as I could possibly drive, the sheer weight on the metal body was just pushing it down and cracking it. So where the bolts went in, it cracked the metal, and we noticed that as soon as we'd taken it out. And then it was only a matter of time before the actual cracks got bigger and they just flipped from underneath the bolts that were keeping them in place. So we ordered some large washers to put over the top of the bolt and to pull down it's a temporary fix, because really this needs to go now to the local garage and be welded back into place. But we can't be without the trailer. Now, we have got another one, which I'll show you now, but it is a bit knackered and we don't even know if it's usable. It's kind of a parts trailer for this one. This was the newer one of the two. And it's unfortunate, but there you go, you know. Don't put barrels that weigh an absolute ton in the back of your little trailer. So what's about to happen is I've got to take the bolts and the screws that fix this to the base off. But these, the holes are like a millimetre too small, and I've got nothing to drill that bigger. So I've ordered some bigger ones. So I can only do so much with this at the moment. Katie's joined me. Just come back from collecting the post. Do you have any comments to make about this travesty?
It's an essential part of our island life, this trailer, for many reasons.
I've already said that it was the barrel of kerosene that ripped it. And then, well, basically what happened was, what I didn't say was I was coming back down the track after collecting. No, I'd gone to see if the camera was up there, hadn't I?
That's right.
And on the very last bit coming down the hill to the mainland, it flipped. The whole trailer flipped because it ripped.
And you weren't carrying anything. It was an empty trailer.
It was an empty trailer, yeah. Which is probably why I did it, because it had no weight pushing down on it. But it was it nearly threw me off the quad. It's the first time that I've nearly come off the quad.
You said you were hanging off, weren't you? Because it jerked you.
Yeah, because obviously this hit the ground. I was coming down the hill, so I was doing, I don't know, probably about between 5 and 10 miles an hour. But because the whole trailer flipped, it dug into the ground and it stopped the quad. Well, I let go of the accelerator, obviously, that's what stopped the quad.
I mean, this is what this head is for. This is this coupler. There's no way to flip the trailer.
Yeah.
To flip the quad if the trailer flips over.
You can flip the trailer, but not the quad. Do you want to take that end, and I'll take this end? No, just down, because it weighs a ton.
Okay, down then.
Right, you can see what happened, look. These fissures that were created here, either side of the screw holes, bolt holes, sorry, were fractured by the can of kerosene. It's a tiny little caterpillar here. Anything we do here is, like I said, it's going to be temporary fix. We just flip it over and hammer it from the other side.
Okay, just straighten that out first.
The plan is, when we've got ones with the right size hole, these are the biggest ones that we could get. One on that side, one on the other side, bolt going through, tighten them back up. We'll get at least, I don't know, a couple of months out of it if we're careful.
Well, at the very least, we'll be able to take it to the...
Well, it's about picking up the shopping and stuff like that, isn't it? It's like, we're not putting any heavy weights in it.
But if it's good enough to drive over to the mainland, then we could potentially drive it to a mechanic to weld it.
What, on the back of the quad?
No.
I mean, attached to the back of the car?
Yeah.
Right, sorry, okay. I didn't know whether that would attach to the back of the car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a garage job. So we're just waiting for these. Well, it should be here tomorrow. She's usually here, what, 3, 4? Is the road deer?
Mm-hmm. Red deer.
Sorry?
Red deer.
She missed the carrot, but I think she's going to sniff it out of it. Yeah, she's going to get it now, aren't they? That's as close as she's let me come to her. But she's the first one. She was the first deer that came down here. I mean, look how mangy she is on her neck. I think she's ill. They ostracise each other when they...
Maybe she just wants to hang around and eat carrots.
She doesn't let the other ones anywhere near them when they come with her. But I've only ever seen her twice on her own. So this is like the third time. Stinks of kerosene.
Funny that. Right.
Oh, how easy that was to get that off. Look, it's just coming straight off with no effort.
That's amazing.
Whatsoever.
That didn't take any struggle at all to get that
It's
open.
very easy to get this cap off.
Right. Well, we need to use the pump to get most of this into the storage container, and then the very last bit.
Have you read the manual? Because this is a very sophisticated bit of equipment.
Yeah, I think you press the start button and hold that, and I'm going to go and hold that.
Tell me when!
When? When it starts to whir, make a high-pitched noise, then stop.
I don't think anybody heard you because my microphone's right next to this.
Mine's not. You know what we need now? Some elevator music.
Still loads in here. Hang on, there's still tons in the pipe.
It's floating back, and
Oh, so what does it do? Is it sucks it back into the...
well, it's gravity, isn't it? It's pulling it back out. You probably get away with switching it on again for a second.
If you wondered what I was doing there, you could see the air balls going up, so you could see when it was coming back and when it going in and then coming back. Do you know, never thought I'd become like a gas pump attendant. It wasn't on my wish list, bucket list.
Well, we'll just do the last little bit in a jerry can. barely any left.
Since the last time that they saw her, she's twice the size. It's insane how quickly they grow.
She's heavy too.
Yeah. When you're picking her up now, you're like...
First couple of days she wasn't really... She was eating, but not eating much. Somebody criticised us for having too big a teat, which is not the case. But the packet's always kind of over-egg the custard, saying you should be feeding them this much, this early, and blah, blah, blah. But really you need to go lamb by lamb. You can't force her to take more than she wants, or she'll bloat. But now she's eating really well. And very settled, aren't you? She lies in between us on the couch at night.
Yeah, she does. Good as gold. She hurt her leg the other day, didn't she? We don't know how. But she was limping on one of the front legs, but that lasted 24 hours, didn't it?
The puzzle was the tail.
That is a weird thing.
So my farmer friend asked me if we wanted their tail docked, and people do this because they get fly strike. If their tails are dirty, if they're out in the field and whatnot, then the flies lay maggots and the maggots burrow into their flesh and it's awful. If you dock their tails, it helps with that not being such a contaminated area for the flies to enjoy. But I said to him, well, since she's a pet, we can obviously clean her if needs be. We don't need to dock her tail. So she had a normal length tail.
Yeah.
Up until yesterday afternoon, when in the space of a matter of hours,
the tip of it dropped off.
There was a full circumference ring, red ring around the tip of her tail, and then it just dropped off. So I think, are you comfy yet? I think maybe at some stage somebody on the farm might have actually ringed their tail and the ring might have just popped off or disintegrated or burst or something like that, and nobody's really noticed, because it was exactly like Bree's dropped off, wasn't it, when she was little? Because when we got Bree, she already had a ring on her tail, which we took off straight away in the hope that it would save her tail, but it didn't. No. So it must have been what had happened to her as well. Strange.
It's weird. But if you look, her tail is longer than Bree's.
Yes, it is. And I seem to remember that there may be breeds that do naturally, their ends of their tails drop off. And we don't know what she's crossed with. But I couldn't find any info online, so I don't know. But anyway, she's content. There's your show nut update.
So, as we saw earlier in this episode, we did our... You see them all?
I can hear them.
The unboxing of all the new kit didn't go as planned because...
Well, the camera gimbal and lens are grand, they're charging, and the tripod looks immense.
Yeah.
But the fluid head for the top of the tripod was missing a part. You said when you opened the box that you think it had been previously opened, and you were right. But the pain is that comes from America, so we have to wait 2 weeks for the replacement. But it doesn't matter, we can get started using the camera and the lens in the meantime. Nice to see the sheep out. Crowdy's kind of half hiding behind a post, like spying on the new addition. Yeah,
she's Crowdy's not
sold.
No, with the baby lamb.
Not yet, anyway. There's a pecking order that needs to be established.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's going on with her. But Bree's just Bree, isn't she? She's like
totally affable, nonplussed, which is how this little one will be too.
Yeah. But yeah, it is interesting. We didn't think about that, did we? There will be a pecking order now with the three of them.
Well, we don't have them out together unsupervised or anything like that. So.
Well, she's only just been introduced, hasn't she, bit by bit. Like walking over here, you introduce again, and they have a bit of a sniff. But she's too little to be anywhere near them.
Can't defend herself against Crowdy headbutting her at the minute.
No. It's evil.
The cats freaked out for a couple of days, didn't they?
Jeeves.
Basically just didn't see them because they thought she was such a monster. What is it? Ugh.
Jeeves is only just coming round, isn't he, like a week and a bit later.
He's suffering to come into the living room now at night and lie next to her.
It gives it that.
Ooh,
Yeah.
don't let it touch me.
Saying which, with the camera's on, there's no Jeeves.
We're going to have to shear them.
Yeah, well, that's going to be in the next episode, isn't it? Because that's got to happen. Well, it should be happening right this minute.
This week, the next 10 days, something
Yeah.
like that.
But speaking of sharing them, we have some thank yous to do. Is it Vicky?
Especially a big thank you to Vicky and the Kieran Gorms, who just went on a gifting spree on the Amazon wish list. It was like Christmas. It's amazing.
So we've got like the shears that we've always wanted. The hand shears. They're not electric shears.
No.
But the hand shears that we've always wanted, we have them now, thanks to Vicky. So again, thanks very much for that. And just so you know, when people buy things from the Amazon wish list, sometimes, most of the times, we will get a complimentary slip, don't we, with the first name of the person that's gifted the items. But sometimes we don't get that slip. So
And sometimes they're just blank. It just says enjoy your gift.
yeah, so we don't.
If
We
we're
don't
not
know.
naming you by hand, but if we're not naming you to thank you, that's why we're very, very grateful.
Because we had a rucksack gifted as well, and we don't know who sent that, do we? So for the person that gifted us the rucksack, for all the gear to be put in, thank you very much. But unfortunately, there was we just don't know who it came from. So I mean, if you want to drop us a message, so we can thank you personally within the comments, then please do. But yeah, and everybody that's gifted, because some people will buy treats for the sheep or treats for the
Dreamies for the cats.
For the cats. The cats love those little mice, don't they?
Yeah.
Because the catnip mice. So, again, we want to get to a point where we can personally thank everybody for these, but and we will do as from now on. So thanks, and we said especially to Vicky, because that was a big surprise, and it really helped us out. Something just attacked Isa. Did you see that?
Wonder what it is.
I'm just going to have to go and see, because something in the grass just attacked Isa.
Could it be a snake?
Well, that was interesting. Well, whatever it is, it has to. I just think it is going to be one of the. Well, we don't have snakes, do we? It's going to be a slow worm. Well, we haven't seen any snakes.
That's right.
She's fine. She's a bit bemused though. She's not used to things fighting back. Her and the pine marten are always having standoffs.
Nose to nose.
Oh, I found a Victorian spoon, didn't I?
It's hardly news, is it?
Well, it is, because it's a Victorian spoon, and I'll put it on screen now.
Prepare to be amazed, everyone.
No, but what is interesting about this spoon is that it's the wear on it, on the edge. The years that somebody was using that spoon. And I literally found it on the topsoil. The handle was sticking out, and I just pulled it up, and it's a complete spoon.
Well, if it's got wear on the edge, it's probably silver, not silver plate.
Well, we haven't cleaned it up, have we? We haven't looked at it yet. But it has definitely got wear on the side where someone's been doing that.
Yeah.
And that, I love finding things that people have personally used, and you have that kind of information from.
Been having this as porridge every morning with it, or as wheatie bangs, or whatever they used to eat.
Well, we've now decided, obviously, you know where we are, we're just outside the cabin. Next to the cabin over here, there is another midden, because I keep finding loads of bits of broken pot and everything over there. So, and that's where I found this, so there's probably more to be found. Eventually we'll get that metal detector, and off we go. Once I get that metal detector, you won't be seeing me. I'll be gone.
It can't come soon enough.
People won't be saying, oh, all he ever does is chop a few. Somebody said this the other day. All he ever seen doing is chop a few sticks. Chop a few sticks. But what I'm saying is, when I get the metal detector, all everyone's going to be saying is, all he ever does is wander around with a metal detector.
Well, there are whole channels dedicated to that.
It'd be like, we will be the detectorists.
We're having a discussion about the fact that you say that you're in the UK? Do you say you're on an island or do you say you're in an island? Just because the UK is an island and you say you're in the UK, so it technically should be we're on an island.
We are on an island. People.
But
When
we're
first
not in an island.
no,
But you say I'm in the UK. I'm in Britain. So shouldn't you say I'm on Britain?
no,
I'm on Texas.
no.
You're not in Texas.
No.
You're on it.
No, you don't live in an island. That's just not good English. Doesn't make any sense. But remember, when we first started the channel, people would say, yeah, you are, of course you're living on an island. You live in the UK.
That's my point. We should all start saying I live on Britain. I live on Scotland.
I'm not convinced.
Well, I'm writing to the Prime Minister, whoever he or she is now. I can't keep up. I'm writing an official letter.
I think you've got more chance of getting something done if you wrote to Felicity Kendall.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Where does she live? On the UK?
Surbiton.
Felicity Kendall on the UK.
Surbiton.
Okay.
That's where they lived, isn't it? Tom and Barbara.
I don't remember.
We've had a lot of new Patreon members this week.
Yeah.
We very rarely promote our outside social media, but every time we do, we get a huge amount of people signing up to Instagram. I think we had about 40, 50 people sign up to Instagram, because obviously they didn't know. But yeah, Patreon members, about 10 new Patreon members, which is always great. So check out our Patreon, check out Instagram. We don't do anything else, do we?
No.
Oh, we've got a YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah. There is that.
You could follow us and subscribe to our YouTube channel.